Hey y'all, it's Lois with Lois Keepsakes and Creation. So now we have our two sides, which will be glued to the inside panels. Then we have our back side, which will be glued to the back of the board. So this is what your shelf should look like, and facing this towards you, okay? And when we go in there to go place it, everything will fit down nice and smoothly. And back here in the back, where this meets, we're gonna have to cut out a little square, so that way this goes all the way down, okay? So how I do that is I see where down here in the bottom, if you can see, down here in the bottom, right here, we need to make pencil marks and cut that out, okay? So it'll slide, all right? So we're gonna make this pencil mark here and here, okay? And I'll show you. Right up next to that chipboard, right there. And then the same on the other side. Well, no, not on the other side. So let's see. No, okay. Now take this one and you're simply going to cut this one out. Oops, just like that, okay? So when it goes in like this, this is gonna slide all the way to the top, just like that, like magic, huh? And then all of a sudden, you got your first shelf in. And I tell you, once you get it from here and you keep on going, you'll be done in no time. All right. So let's get this part glued. And this side over here glued. Then we're going to glue this side. As you see, I already put hot glue on this and I didn't do the flaps, so you won't see that, but I will. But I done it. Made a mistake. Okay, so now we have that. This is flipping forward. Get our little flaps. And now we're just going to simply fold up, making sure we're all the way towards the back. Sorry for my head, guys. All I'm doing is just simply working this glue in place, making sure everything is glued down. Just work your panels. Just do the best you can. Just try and get them glued in. Make sure you use your guides to make sure that you're being glued in place, okay? And this one needs glue. Alright, let's go ahead and glue our outside strips. Just have to work with it a little bit to get the first one in, and then as you go along you'll know which flaps you need to glue first before you go and start gluing everything together. It's kind of like a learning process. It's like, okay, I know I need to glue that part down, I need to glue this part down, and it's just kind of figuring out which one is best for you. This did not get glued down. Just use your bone folder to kind of just work that glue, get the bubbles out. Okay. Just keep working it until it's glued. Okay, now we'll put glue on the top here. Working each one of our flaps. Now I guess you could have used tape if you wanted to on these edges, but the reason why I didn't want to use the tape is for the simple fact that I know tape after time does come apart. I mean, it does lose its I guess grip. It kind of just sometimes, I know when I work with tape, the next day I'll come in and the tape has come apart. So it depends on, I guess, the condensation or the humidity in your area. But I find that putting this together with just glue is, I know this glue is going to stick paper to paper, right? Get this done. Work your glue. Make sure you get out all your air bubbles. And look at there, we've got the first shelf. Alright, now we're going to follow through with one of our dividers, and we're going to simply follow our guide from the last one, okay? And it's going to be placed right there. And you see where the center is, where I've marked the center board? Can you see that? Okay, so we're going to follow it just like that. Alright, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to put my glue here, and then I'm going to do a little bit of glue gun right there. So put our glue here on our flaps. I got to quit working towards myself. I'm so used to working everything towards my chest. I have to make sure I quit doing that. Okay, and then now we're going to put glue here. Okay, and then I'm going to put hot glue right there. Come on. All right, now we're just going to simply line it right back up like it was. And then push. Wait for that hot glue to get set. And then set it. And there we go. Got glue on me. Okay, so now we got that one in set. So now here we go with the second one. Let's do this one first. Okay, let's go ahead and put our glue down on our flap. Got that done. I want to go ahead and put my glue on these strips. Okay, just like that. And let's go ahead and fold it up, making all the while that we are pushing up against the back. Okay, now we're going to take our bone folder and we're just simply pressing this out, working our glue. Making sure our guide just got to work with it. Just keep working that. Make sure it stays. Okay. Now we're ready to get the top done. Alright, so we're simply just going to fold down our flaps and we're just going to glue the top part. Alright, make sure that stays in place. Nice and glued. Okay, so let's move over to the other side. Oh, it's so hard to try and get a position on this. All right. Put your guide in, make sure that you're where you're supposed to be, and simply just take your bone folder and just work that out. Get rid of all your air bubbles, get your glue situated. Alright, so that's done. Our two sides, so now all we've got to do is do our back side. Okay. Now I like to take and put just a little bit of glue back here in the back. My flap. Don't forget about this little one. And then we're simply just going to work it up. And then just work those in. Make sure you get all the air bubbles out. Okay. Now we have our second shelf in. Okay, now we're ready for our third shelf. I know this kind of looks, it might look for you a little bit of bowy, and that's mine too as well, and that'll be just fine because once you put the pattern paper on and everything, you won't even be able to see it. Won't even be able to. Alright, so now we have our next one that we're going to put right here, and then we're going to glue that in place too as well. Okay? And I'm going to use wet glue here, glue gun, okay? So glue here with the wet glue. And then now we're going to use the hot glue for the back side and for this bottom. If I can do it without it making a big mess. Okay. Now we're going to follow our line. I have to do it this way. Open up your flaps. Get this down first. And then push the back onto this. You have to be like He Woman, I guess. Okay, now that that is nice and snugged, make sure it's up against the back. Okay, there's that one. That one's done. Okay, got that. Looks a little crooked, don't it? Maybe not. Okay. Alright, so now we're ready for our second shelf, our next one. Alright, we need to make sure that we got clearance from the bottom. And we're going to make sure all of these are folded the way that they're supposed to go. Alright, and let's see. Okay. Let me just give this a little bend right here. Okay. Make sure your flaps are turned in. Okay. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is, because we're getting up towards the top, I need to make sure that we're still got the same clearance, okay? And then I am going to glue this one in place. Now let's see, make sure I got everything done back there. Yep. Okay. Alright, what I want to do is go ahead and glue this together. You guys keep working it, and I'm going to keep working mine until we get to the top shelf. And then when I get back to the top shelf, I'll turn the camera back on and we'll go from there. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I done made it to my last one. And the last one is going to be just like this. I'm going to get everything I'm assuring to fit is what I'm doing. And it looks like I need to cut off more. So let me cut some more off. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be perfect. And then you just take and simply just glue these little flaps down, so they're up out of the way. Okay. Alright, so let's assure to fit again. Make sure we get everything right in its order. Make sure it goes all the way to the back. Goes all the way to the back. And we got a shirt to fit. Okay. Alright, so get that situated. That looks really good. So what I want to go ahead and do now is I need to go ahead and get the glue positioned in the back, the white glue, so that way we can push down our tabs. Okay, now I found that it was easier to do this on my last one that I just did, was add glue here, 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 and here and as well here, and then get it situated. And then the glue won't dry by the time you get everything situated, but don't glue these two top pieces or these flaps up on the top, just the ones here on the bottom. Okay, so we'll glue this one, this, and then this, and then we're also going to add glue to this. Okay, and y'all are going to have to excuse my shakes. I'm battling my sugar right now. So alright, so we want to add glue to here. Make sure we get it on our chipboard too as well, without making a big mess like I always do. I think I just have too much fun with glue. I don't know. Get it over here. Okay. And then we're going to glue our two sides. Okay. Make sure I glued the right one. And then we're going to put glue on top of these flaps, I guess you might say. Okay. And here comes the fun part. Getting it all in there where I know it's going to be perfect without making a big mess. But that's okay. That's what wipes are for. Oops. Too hard, Lois. Alright, let's get our guides in. Make sure we set nice and perfect on our top of our guides. Okay. Hold it in place and then start working your flaps on the inside. I gotta boop it back here. That's why it wouldn't go down all the way. You see that? Oh, and I made a mess. Okay, there we go. There we go, I got it. Making sure it fits. Making sure we're up against the back. And pressing. There we go. And then of course we want to do our tops. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue this side panel. that big old motorcycle. All right. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and glue this. Running out of glue. Imagine that. Okay. Put this one in place. And just work that in. Okay. Making sure that you stay snugged. You have to use your body to do this, you can. That's what I'm doing anyway. Okay. All right, now, I don't know if you guys did or it's my fault, but if you'll see, I have overlapping right here on this one piece of strip here. And I don't want that to overlap on the back of this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay our guide on top of this, and then we're simply just gonna cut it with a knife. Where is it at? And that happens. I mean, we're not perfect, I guess you might want to say, but it happens. Okay. Here. Here. And my other one is okay. So I'm all right there. So let me cut just a tad bit more off right here because I can see where it's humped up. So there we go. All right, now we can glue our back piece. Okay. So everything's drying pretty nicely. I do like it. And we're almost there, you guys. We're almost there. Okay, let's go ahead and glue this. Sorry, I got the shakes, y'all. Put our glue. Glue this one in. There we go. Get it all situated. Make sure we work out those bubbles. Okay. And now our last piece. Don't forget to put glue back there in that valley. And then this. There we go. Flip it over and then burnish this in place. Okay, working it. Excuse me. But you're just simply going to burnish that in place. Like that. And there she goes. Okay. So there's that part. So we are all done for that. I'm sorry if the video got a little long. But I also hope that you didn't get confused during the tutorial, and I apologize if you did, and if you wouldn't mind to just reach out and give me any questions that you might have. I'd be very glad to help you get through it. and to make sure that we can do this creation together. Super excited about it. I got a lot more stuff that I want to show you guys. Over here on my right side, I have been working with my hot glue, and this is another project I want to show you guys. But I have a hot glue gun tray, and she does have feet. And then this sits in here as your cradle, and it's lined with clear plastic in there so it doesn't keep sticking to your paper. And right here it has its own storage for all your glue sticks. Okay, isn't that cute? I just love it. But this is done all the way around. So, and the bottom, if you can see the bottom. I'm like so far out of focus, or out of frame, I think I am. But anyway, yeah, so but yeah, that's my little glue gun box that I've been working with. So, but anyway, so that's another project I want to show you guys. So I'm pretty excited about that too as well. Now, I would give this time, like we've messed with this all, you know, trying to get it all put together. I would wait for at least an overnight to get this where it gets glued really nice and firm, and everything is ready for us to move on to the next step. Now, the next step that we're going to do, which is going to be the video that's going to follow this, is we're going to make the outside compartments. Now, the outside compartments will consist of holding your dabber tool, your blending tool, whatever you want to call it, but the little wooden spools tool will sit over here on the side, and over here on the other side we'll be making a closed-in box that will hold your blending brushes that you can put in here on this. So, but those are the next ones before we go to any designing paper or anything. So we want to just go ahead and get the boxes done first and get them situated onto our main base, and then after that, then we'll be going to decorating paper. But I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial so far, and I will look forward to seeing you guys next time. Talk to you later. Bye.